Okay, we good now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm sorry for all the technical issues there.
It wasn't technical. You were hitting the wrong button.
I wasn't hitting anything wrong. It's all your fault.
I wasn't hitting anything wrong.
It's your fault.
It's not my fault.
It is.
Whoa, we're so big today. Ooh.
I started my diet today, which I think I've said that before, but now I'm really starting it. Like, for real.
I think you said that before, too.
Shut up. This is for real now.
Should I take my jacket off? I'm
freezing. Hence, while I'm wearing my my cunning hat, and I've got my packs unplugged.
You have to wear the scarf right.
Scarf.
That's not how you wear a scarf.
Stop. Leave me scarf alone. No, it's over wearing my scarf. Ah!
Wrap it.
No.
Who's being loud now?
This is how I like my scarf.
I don't want the loud one anymore.
It was freaking cold out today, people.
It was 60 degrees.
It was 40-something degrees this morning when I woke up and looked dug out.
You also just woke up.
You're already vegan. What diet? I'm vegetarian. And just so you know, there's a lot of stuff that's vegetarian that's not exactly the best for you. Like mac and cheese.
Oh my god, let's define me.
Pizza. Spaghetti. Everything Evie makes. And chips. Especially like Tostitos. Especially Tostitos bowls. Like Tostitos bowls, literally.
Oh, they're so gross.
I have like at least 4 pounds of all of this is just made of Tostitos bowls because I kind of like the way they pop.
Ew, those ones are the worst ones. They don't fit in my mouth.
I'll just tell you. But yeah, it's there's something to be said for being a healthy vegetarian. If anything, I think it's more challenging to lose weight as a vegetarian than it is as an omnivore because all my comfort food is carbohydrate based. So anyway, I'm Judge James.
I'm Judge Evie.
Welcome to the legendary Walls Dungeon Tavern and vegetarian talk.
What's bits?
Why can't we give bits? What's a bit?
Wait.
I don't know what that means. Is that like a Twitch thing? Because I don't know.
What's a bit?
I don't know what a bit is. You know what? Again, if it is a Twitch thing, we are the worst Twitch people ever.
Yeah.
That's why Judge Evie is off doing her own Twitch thing now.
No, it's not. It's not mine.
Why don't you talk about it?
Eli.
Okay, well talk about it.
What is that? I don't even know what that means, but.
What you have a talk about your other Twitch channel.
Oh, that.
We can link to it.
Okay, so it's not mine. It's Eli's.
What's it called? You're really knocking this out of the park here.
Wait a minute. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Well, Evie, what a great job plugging your other Twitch.
Shut up. It's not mine.
While we wait for this should be an interesting episode because it just should be, I guess. I don't know. Actually, this episode is all about beating up on Evie, so we're going to have a real good time.
Can I just show it up? I don't know how to pronounce that.
Nyctophilia?
Yeah, but it's like different.
All right, show it.
It's this. Oops. Oh, oops. Wait.
Wow. How about we just post a link in when this is somewhere else? There we go.
Don't boo me. If you're going to boo
cold?
me, spell
yes,
my name
I'm
right.
Cold. My heart is cold. Anyway, today's episode is beating up on Evie.
It's not fair.
If you joined us last week and you're one of the many people that were enjoying us kind of snarking on 5e and stuff, we're not doing that. Link them millennials. I'm a Gen Xer. I'm a last year Gen Xer. I don't, they're Gen Z. Sorry, cough.
I want tea.
So today's episode is going to be about, it could be about anything that has to do with gaming. Today is a system neutral conversation of something that's occurred in a game. Wait a second. Is that what I think it is?
Is that
tea?
Is that tea?
Well, we have tea being delivered. Look at that. It's that time on Living for Crits when my wife shows up with tea. What kind of tea is this?
Oh no, my bun!
This is just tea.
Oh no!
Oh, your hair looks like garbage.
I look like Justin Bieber.
It looks like hot trash. Thank you, Jen.
Shoot, I need to fix this. This is bad.
So anyway, we're gonna be beating up on Evie, talking about something that's system neutral. But you can relate it to DCC or anything. It's a really good DCC question, it looks like. We have a question from Judge Adrian that's fairly long. So that should be interesting. I did want to note that as of today, or yesterday, no, was it today?
I don't know.
It was today.
What are you talking about?
As of today, I have finished my reading of 3 gaming how-to books. And over the last several weeks, I have read the Fantasy Age Campaign Builder's Guide, which really is like a how-to gaming book. It's not just about Fantasy Age.
Bad.
That's by Green Ronin. I've read How to Write Adventure Modules That Don't Suck by Goodman Games. And today I finished Your Best Game Ever by Monty Cook and Monty Cook Games. And I gotta say, I had a really good time reading these 3 books.
Oh, dang it. I got this poofy thing sticking out.
But hats off for anyone, for all the folks at all 3 game companies. I will say that for if you're looking for a gift, because the holiday seasons are coming, I would say for your friends that are looking to just play a game for the first time, I really can't recommend Your Best Game Ever more. I think pound for pound for general gaming knowledge, that is an absolutely phenomenal book for any new and aspiring game master and role-playing player. And as for those people that want to write adventures, especially OSR / D20 fantasy style adventures, then I think that's where How to Write Adventure Modules That Don't Suck comes into play. All 3 books were a lot of fun. I mean, even the Campaign Builder's Guide for Fantasy Age was great, although it does sort of skew towards the Fantasy Age, Dragon Age, zone, modern age zone. But all 3 were great reads. But if you're looking for that one gift for a new player, or giving a new player that one book to start them off, even experienced players, I would say Your Best Game Ever is probably the way to go. Any book that has like recipes in the back is pretty awesome. Speaking of being pretty awesome, let's go to the antithesis of pretty awesome. Judge Evie, are you gonna get your hair together here? Because we can't have a whole episode of you just like screwing on your hair.
I'm leaving it down now.
Good deal, because now we can actually progress.
You were talking, I was fixing it.
How about we go and discuss, we'll go to Judge Evie Presides, and our very long question from Judge Adrian. Go ahead and read the very long question.
I was told I'm not allowed to do a voice.
So. Well, not with this one. This is a long question. I will say to anyone who wants to send a question and hear us read it occasionally in Judge Evie's weird voices. I
usually do it in a weird voice.
You can send those to dccjudgeevie@gmail.com. This week's question is DCC-centric, which is awesome. So go ahead and read this week's question.
Okay, this is from Adrian Northcutt.
Too hot.
It's
the
called...
T, not. I'm not trying to say about Adrian. Not that just came across wrong. My tea was too hot. Read the question.
Okay. Dear Judges Evie and James, how do you rationalize 0-level elves in DCC unless your playable non-human races differ from the assumed setting and collective... What the heck?
Tolkien-esque.
Norms. I don't understand how an elf with several hundred years of experiences could possibly be on an equal footing with some human peasant in their 20s or 30s. The skill of a lifetime might be experienced differently by them, but surely they don't take 1,000 times as long to learn new skills, seemingly being thrust into a situation of peril amongst their potential as adventurers. I tend to think that at least elves, with their already established patron contacts and vouchers for free mithril equipment, seem like an awkward fit to a typical funnel situation. Either they were brought up with knowledge or magic in combat, or they weren't, hence being 0-level glass blowers and chandlers. Yeah. What have they been doing for the last 300 odd years? Slowly building a rapport with this or extraplanar being. Extraplanar being would never leaving their position at the local greengrocers. Centuries of time to practice, but they never get around to it after is italicized. After the first adventure, a few harrowing encounters under their belt, and an especially clever farmer might be able to cast as many or more spells than an elf half a millennia old. I
This is a great
personally
question.
think it only makes in-game sense for them to join the group at first level or higher. But what are your thoughts? Does the lack of basic verisimilitude, I got that one close,
Okay.
in games keep you awake at night like it does me? Judge Adrian.
All right. Wow. That's a great question. And we have some
I'm
follow-ups
confused.
here. Actually, today's episode could be all about elves with that matter. If Judge
I'm
Evie didn't
so
run
confused.
downstairs with that question. Judge
Well, I
Evie,
didn't see it until now.
why don't you answer the question first?
I'm confused.
Why are you confused?
It talks about
Do you
elves.
see any issue with having elves, 0-level elves in your game?
Does it matter?
But would you have a problem if one of the 0-level characters rolled up in your game was an elf?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. Maybe the elf was really stupid and just starts really slow.
What if the elf has a 13 intelligence?
Well, the Gong Farmer could have a 13 intelligence too.
True. So you don't see the fact that elves are older, or elves are traditionally...
You can be old and not know anything.
This is true. I wasn't the distinction I was going to make, but it's a very good point. All right, I'll tackle it this way. Why do elves have to be Tolkien-esque? You know, my first...
That's a word.
My first connection with elves was with the ElfQuest comic books when I was in high school and college. Well, more high school. And the ElfQuest role-playing game. And if I remember correctly, Cutter, which was the main character of the ElfQuest series, was like 22 or 23 when the very first story for ElfQuest started. So, you know, you don't have to say all elves are hundreds of years old in your game. So if you really want to fit elves into your Dungeon Crawl Classics game and have them be a part of the funnel, then just go ahead and say that elves start young. If you don't want to do that and you want to stay happy hundreds of years old, then make elves a class that you can only take higher up the food chain at, like second, third, or fourth level to start, and just take them off the list. You can always make players roll again on a 0-level sheet. I do think that sometimes I think elves can be a bit overpowered in DCC, and while it's not a game about balance, the fact that they're coming out the door with a pretty good base attack, the ability to cast spells, a lot of good spells, and a lot of good weapon choices with more hit points than wizards. I would always want to be an elf over a wizard for that matter. I think I think elf might be my favorite class in DCC now, as I've thought about it more in the last few minutes. And wizard was my favorite class, but then so was cleric, and so was dwarf. They're all my favorite
Not
class.
warrior.
I like warriors too.
They're kind of boring. You know?
So,
Yeah.
what warriors are? With the
Yeah.
deed die, you think they're boring?
Well, like, compared to the
I'm
other
gonna kill off
ones.
Mumania next week.
No.
Too late now.
No.
So and
Is Mumania a warrior?
I think that's Eric E. Lyons. The Elven Conundrum from pretty much every RPG ever. Very good point. As long as there's been gaming, the idea of these elves joining the party with 115 years old, what have they been doing? Just on vacation. They're in Aruba. That's where they are. They're just like on a beach somewhere, hanging out in a forest, in a glade, just like smoking and stuff. I don't know. We have a lot of comments and feedback this week. Look at this. This is cool.
Wow.
Let's see here. Not a follow-up question. Only if you have time or want to after reading the quick start. And this is from HZDGMG. His gaming. After reading the quick start and the main book, I need help deciding what the DC of the save against a spell is based on. The DC intrinsic to the spell or the role of the magician. The role of the magician. So if you roll really well, you're screwed. So that's easy. You can always set it up as the bad guy for whoever you want, but I do the role of the magician, so it's really hard to beat that. Let's see here. Another question. Dr. Moggs is asking, he wants in your silly voice, is the DCC annual any good?
What?
You didn't read the
at?
DCC annual. I think it's great that you get so many questions, like thinking you read anything. You just play. Read the question here.
I read
the question in a silly voice from Dr. Moggs. Right there. Read that.
Is it just the... Wait.
Just at question? DCC Judge, silly voice, is the DCC annual any good?
So say that in the stupid...
Sure.
What kind of voice should I do?
Whatever you want. We've only said the question 4 times already, but go ahead and say it.
Is the DCC annual any good?
I'm going to leave that question to Judge Evie. Judge Evie, is the DCC annual any good?
Well, I've sold it many times.
You have... That is true. You
I've
have sold it in
so
the
many
booth.
times.
You have sold it in the Goodman Games
and
booth.
And everyone always asks me, like, oh, this is the annual, right? And all I knew I was always told what the covers of everything
What's
was.
your sales pitch on the annual?
Oh, there was no sales pitch. They said... Oh, is this the annual? And I was like, oh, yeah, it's pretty cool. The cover looks cool, too. And they're like, yeah, okay. And they're like, where's the checkout at? And I was like, oh, it's over there. And they're like, thank you. And they walk away. That's pretty much it.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Hazard Gaming is Daniel. Okay. Sorry. Well, she hasn't read it. How's she going to know that the mustache is Dr. Moggs? All right. So I read it, and I like it. I think that it fills out... I personally like it for clerics, though. That's why I like it. I've played quite a few clerics in DCC, especially at Phantom Games, and I've discussed my favorite cleric at length and ad nauseum, but I like how the book fleshes out clerics. So that's my spiel. I did not understand the mustache-related magic. I thought it was funny and quirky that it was in there, but mustache magic didn't... I don't know, it didn't do it for me. So, one of the few things for DCC, like, that's only one part of the book, right? That wasn't an absolute knockout hit for me, was the mustache magic. I think if you were going to do it in a one-shot, then sure. Wasn't that the book that had, like, the nunchuck master, though?
Nunchucks?
Isn't there a nunchuck master class out there somewhere? I think it was in the DCC. Yeah, break out the nunchucks. You gotta say, you'll have any game where it's the only game with an official set of nunchucks. 5e doesn't have nunchucks, does it?
No, it doesn't. Yeah, I was zoning out. It doesn't have none. See, look, they even say it on it. Wait.
I showed that already.
No, I'm showing it again. I showed that already. I'm showing it again.
I need another set of those things.
Yeah, then we can battle each other.
Yeah, that wouldn't be dangerous. Official DCC nunchucks.
That would be a really
Get them at your next local con. Hang those suckers up.
They've been hung up.
Oh my gosh. Any other questions here?
We have another question on here.
Did we? Go for it.
I didn't read it.
All right, well, go ahead.
Guess who it's by?
Daniel says elves could be farmers or librarians, any number of things that aren't very adventurous. I think that's a great point.
Guess who it's by?
And decide to branch out when they get bored with being an arborist. And as you said, elves that maybe aren't that smart, maybe be stuck being the least good arborist. Who's this question from? Greg?
Guess who it is.
Is it new? I just said it's Greg.
Yeah, it's Greg.
Go ahead and read it.
It is called, can I say it in a voice?
Yes.
It is called different settings. It seems.
And I could be wrong.
That most of your gaming experience has been in fantasy settings and one modern horror story.
East Texas University.
What other genres would you like to try out?
This is for you because you're the one that's only done fantasy in East Texas University.
That's not true.
Or so, well, that's what Greg, what other games have you done?
Modern stuff.
Like what?
Well,
East Texas University.
No. Some of the games I run are modern, like the mall game I run.
Yeah, Mall is kind of a modern game.
Yeah.
What's a genre you'd like to try that you haven't tried?
I don't know.
What a good talk show host you are.
The 80s.
The 80s? Would you think that's historical?
I mean, American Girl doll thought it was.
Oh, God.
Hey, Courtney. Yeah? How you feeling? Totally tubular. I'm feeling super neat.
So is the 80s like a historical... The 80s would be a historical setting for you, wouldn't it? That'd be an old-timey setting.
I guess.
What about the 1880s? Savage Rob wants you to try Deadlands. He said Deadlands, and Deadlands.
Have I not played Deadlands before?
I don't think you've played Deadlands.
I thought we played it when we were in Kansas.
Did we play No, we played Mutant Crawl Classics in Kansas.
I thought we played.
Actually, you didn't play anything in Kansas. We played Mutant Crawl Classics in Kansas.
Why do I remember playing that? I remember playing that there before.
I don't know.
I think I played it with you and Mama Cooper once.
Maybe.
Like once.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe one game.
Yeah, the 80s. Like the 80s. Like
the 60s.
like Pac-Man and 80s. Like the lunchbox Pac-Man thing with the cosmic.
We're 20
brownie
minutes
and-
in. We're going to move this along here. Dr. Mogg says getting stuff from DCC in the UK is a nightmare. Please pummel Goodman Games with the nunchucks. We will do that.
I can
All right, time to talk about Evie.
No!
I've hid the topic for the show.
Let me see.
Player paralyzation.
This is not nice. What is this?
All right, so call it analysis paralysis or just not paying
I
attention.
usually know what to do.
Wait a second,
when
wait a
it's my
second.
turn. Hey, wait a minute.
Wait.
This is false.
Let me.
This was one adventure.
Let me read
one
it.
round.
It is not one round. It's all
it
the time.
was one round.
All right, I'm going back to the show notes. Call it whatever you want.
I didn't.
Analysis paralysis or not paying attention. I'm going to call it whenever it's Evie's turn.
No.
Judge Evie.
I usually know what I'm doing.
Can you please describe what happened on Saturday when it was your turn and you shut down?
What are you going to do? Play the clip?
No, I can't play. I don't want to play the clip.
Oh, good.
There's too much cursing in it. What happened on Saturday?
Okay.
During our
I'm gonna
fantasy
say
age
this
game.
in my way, because I
During
had
our
a
fantasy
really...
age game, Judge Evie,
Shut
who
your
plays
mouth.
Bonnie the Blooded Mage.
We're not blooded. We're secrets.
Go ahead. What happened? And
Okay.
I'm going to tell them what actually happened, but go ahead and say
No.
what happened.
So, everyone else was doing, like, random stuff and, like, going to
No,
fight
they were
these dudes.
tactically attacking Mothman.
Everyone was attacking
It was
the Mothman.
not random.
Everyone else was doing their random attacks on the Mothman, trying to hurt them. And so I thought, what's a nice way I can get everyone out of here without having to hurt them, and they don't have to hurt us, and be fine. We can just escape, right? But we're on an airship, so we can just jump off or we'll die, like that person we rolled over off the deck. Well, we didn't roll it over, but anyway. So I was like, well, they're really good at
Keep going.
John's here.
I know Josh is here. Keep going.
So everyone was getting hit by these things. I'm like, well, I don't want to do that. So I was sneaky, and I hid from them, but I could still attack them. So, yeah, we weren't. Okay. I was trying to be. So then, I was like, well, what can I do? Well, I had the Veil of Darkness thing that I could have cast, and then everyone could run away, and they would be like, oh, no.
Run away where? You're all on the ship.
They could run down deck. What are they going to do? Follow us? They can't see. No, they would have run away. They would have got bored, and we would have waited them out, or we would have sent that child out there for bait. Okay. Next, so I tried, I was like, oh my god, guys, I have that idea, because I was hiding, and so I could have casted it.
However long
So
this
it'd
is
be
taking
great.
for her to describe, this is how long her turn took.
That's not true. And so I came up, and it was my turn. I was like, guys, I got a really good idea. And they were like, what's your idea? I was like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to cast this, and then no one has to get hurt. And they're like, your idea's stupid. And I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? And they were like, I don't know. And they started yelling at me, and I was trying to come up with a better idea. And then I didn't want to do anything boring, so then I had to just do my boring shadow dagger, which I do all the time. Because they talked me out of my idea, but then said, oh, do whatever you want. But it wouldn't have worked if they didn't go do it with me, and it just wouldn't have worked. Why do you keep looking at this? This is just drama club crap.
So, to just stop for a second, before we start losing viewers, everyone has that player, or has a lot of players, that when it becomes their turn...
You spelled my name wrong again.
When it becomes their turn, they start flipping through the book.
I'm not a scary
and asking the group, what should I do?
It was one time.
Repeatedly. Ad nauseum.
I even was looking through the book, so I had everything ready for my turn.
And Judge Evie is a scaredy cat long turner. Long turner. That's a that's a good term.
What does that even mean?
It means your turns are so long because you're not ready.
I was ready. I looked through the entire book, so I was ready, and then everyone hated my idea.
We lost a viewer.
That's why it sucked.
Let's talk about why this happens. The number one reason why players take forever on their turn is often they're just not paying attention to the game.
I was paying attention.
They're on their phones. They're on their books. They're reading their books. They're on their computers. Other distractions. Sometimes players just don't know it's their turn. Often that could be the GM's fault for not keeping track initiative very well and not being clear about initiative and what the turn order is. Sometimes players are just not paying. They're paying attention, but they're not thinking about their next turn. And occasionally, the player just doesn't understand the rules.
That's not true. I looked through the book so I had my spell ready so I could do it.
Judge Evie.
I was paying attention. I had everything ready.
Judge Evie.
What do you want? What do you want?
You've now played 8 sessions of Fantasy Age.
Yes, I have.
Okay. What does it mean for your Shadow Knife? Why is Shadow Knife better for you than Arcane Blast?
Shoot, because it gets through armor and doesn't have to go through the armor stuff.
There you go.
That thing.
There you go. That's
but
good.
I wanted to do something cool.
That's good. So how should you prevent player paralyzation? And one way is to make sure that prior to the game, you ask your players to be ready to react when it's their turn.
I was ready! They just didn't like my idea!
All of this, what should I do? What shouldn't I do? Think that up before it's your turn.
I didn't even do.
You should always
ready.
You can also clearly track your initiative in the games.
My initiative was fine.
That's one good thing about Savage Worlds in that it uses cards, making it easier to monitor at the table. Another good thing is to state your initiative order as follows. Evie, it's your turn. Eli, you're up next. This prompts the next player to be ready for their turn.
You don't even do that.
Another option is to state the initiative, to allow a player to choose a default action, such as a spell or ability. Like, if I don't answer in 5 seconds, I'm just going to defend. And then, don't be afraid to skip a player when they just can't make up their damn mind.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Wait a second. We have some good comments here.
I'm sorry. I had a good idea and no one liked it, and so I wanted to do something.
Josh says that one time I took super long. I was preparing the entire time. You just gave me the wrong information.
I was preparing for the entire thing, getting ready. I even got the book out, and then I got the wrong book out, and I got the other book out.
Greg likes the count of 5. I like the count of 5 too. And look at that.
That's just mean.
Player 1, you're up. Player 2, you're on deck. I will occasionally say that.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
I do sometimes.
You don't do that. John will agree with me here.
If you follow these simple guidelines I have laid out, you will be good to go on your next gaming session. Judge Evie, what do you have as parting words here as we come to the close of this segment?
Being accused of something that didn't happen. I was prepared. The idea would have worked, but no one liked it. They were like, no, we have to kill this thing because no one ever likes my ideas in these games. But it's fine. It's fine. I have to do my boring, stupid Shadow Knife trying to,
It's not. It's a really cool spell. If you were to stunt on it.
Yeah, but I do it all the time.
If you were to stunt on it. I wanted to do
something different.
Does a warrior not fight with the same sword every round?
Okay, but they can do different things. I was just in a different mood.
If you stunted, it would be a different spell.
Okay, well, I was trying to do something cooler than that, okay? Use my other spells that I don't ever use.
Dr. Moggs has now added more E's to your name.
Does he, what?
I would say...
I'm gonna put the spelling in here.
I'm pretty sure they know how to spell Evie. I just think they don't want to spell it correctly.
It's like
It's one letter off. It's one letter off from evil. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. Eric uses tense on the table in order, and long turners, when it comes and they can't decide, we'll get back to you.
We need to move on.
I think these are good points.
Someone.
Let's move on to the next
And you are the closest
segment.
person to
You almost
listening.
hit me in the face every game. This is my retribution. All right, for Kickstarter.
You make fun of me every game. I don't ever get to make fun of you at all. And so this is not fair. It's not fair. Continue.
For Kickstarter shoutouts, not much to say this week. There is the Kickstarter right now for Monty Cook's Diamond Throne and Cypher System, which isn't by Monty Cook Games, but it is for the Cypher System. It's by a third party. I have nothing about it at all, really. I just know it's a thing, and I was told this week I should know something about it. So I watched the video for it, I think, and it's a reprint of something, but in Cypher System. So that's something. If you guys have any ideas for cool Kickstarters out there, please let us know. Do you know any cool Kickstarters right now?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't
Road
think I've
crew
ever
shout-outs.
been on the Kickstarter website.
Road Crew shoutouts. Rob says there is a Savage World Dead End Zombie Sending Kickstarter. There are a lot of Savage Worlds Kickstarters out there throughout the year. That's not an official one, right? That's a unofficial setting. That's like a third party, right? Road Crew shoutouts, Bride of Cyclops Con. If you are looking for a chance to judge or to play with yours truly, there are event slots open in both my games, and I'm running I'm running DCC Lankmar on Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. I think there's 2 slots open for my Saturday game, and there's only 1 slot filled on my Sunday game right now. There's a lot of room there if you want to play Dungeon Crawl Classics with Judge James. There are some judges that have like special like things for I guess running lots of Road Crew games. I haven't run them this year, so I've been docked down to just lowly street judge. So, which is cool. So, not hard to get in my games this year apparently. That's good. But I'll be running Grave Matters both days. Interestingly enough, an adventure about stealing a coffin, I believe. So,
I'm so bad.
I kind of hacked
so
that for our Fantasy Age game a little bit.
Stolen. Hashtag stolen.
Hashtag stolen coffin.
Yep.
Our featured organization for good this week, again, is the California Fire Foundation Supplying Aid to Victims of Emergency Program, or SAVE. Through this program, frontline firefighters in California provide SAVE gift cards to eligible victims of fire and natural disasters. So they may purchase basic necessities such as food, clothing, or medicine. Go to cafirefoundation.org to support them. Let's see here. Where to find us? Where can people find us, Judge Evie?
At I Live for Crits on Twitter, Living for Crits on Instagram, and search Living for Crits on YouTube.
So for that, stay safe, stay healthy, stay together, and I'm just gonna say, we're skipping your turn, Evie.
Don't skip me. I had everything ready, and I was super excited to do my stupid turn. And yeah, okay. Bye.
Bye.